Čujemo se, dobar dan I dobrodošli.
Good afternoon. Welcome to REFER workshop within MSC organization and Agro-Belgrade team. My name is Ljiljana Lukić. Many of you already know me. I'm a specialist in sales business within my company. My colleagues Goran Popović from Mediterranean shipping line MSC will join us. And Tijana Nikolić, our colleague, is a kind of surprise for today, who will say something about additional services as a cherry on the top of the cake within our company. And Igor Stamenković is also with us today. If there are still some of you who do not know what MSC company is, it's a family company established in 1970 from a very modest vessel. We now reached the place of leader in sail transport. Our exponential rate is visible here on this side. As you can see, we are present in 150 countries worldwide. We have 675 offices. Our fleet includes 850 vessels or ships, but our investments will continue in many logistical solutions and not only vessels. What is interesting is that apart from many consolidations we witnessed on the market, MSC remained the only private company, 100% of private ownership without being part of any alliance. We have 300 routes. We operate. Some of the main are here. Speaking about Serbia and regional countries, we have to mention that we have ports in Mediterranean, in the Italian ports, and through the northern and western Europe and eastern Mediterranean. It is known that Serbia is among the top 3 raspberry producers worldwide. And it's not surprising that we are one of the main shipping company involved in transport of raspberries. We have colleagues with us from berry sectors, etc. So you can see that MSC will remain the best partner in transport of these goods, not only transport but packaging, distribution, setting, etc. Reefer container, which we will discuss today, is specific because it offers door-to-door transport solutions to our clients. We also provide intermodal transport by trucks, railway, combined transport of railway and air transport, and local distribution or delivery, and the insurance of goods during transport. Reefer container is actually a shipping container designed to temperature control goods transportation like fish, meat, pharmas, fruits, etc. As you can see, we have 2 types of reefers. Here 20 stop or 40 stops, which are different in terms of payload and the size. 40 stop reefers has over 30 tons of payload, which means that we provide the cheapest transportation of our goods. Now I will give the floor to my colleague Goran, who will give you some more specific details about loading and other characteristics. Thank you, Ljiljana. My name is Goran Popović, and I'm in charge of maintenance of reefers for MSC company. This is how a reefer container looks like from the front. This is the whole machinery in charge of cooling the goods within the container. We have a 20-stop and 40-stops containers for transport of temperature-controlled goods, and based from -30 to +30 centigrades within our containers. This is how it looks like inside. There is a T, so-called T roof and floor of the container. As you can see, like a small canals or tunnels for air flowing within the container. The cold air enters the container, it goes under the loads, under the goods, and in order to cool the goods adequately and equally, the load is stacked according to required conditions in order to achieve the required temperature for cooling of the goods. Before the loading, we are in charge of pre-transport inspection of the whole container, which starts with visual inspection to exclude any physical damages, for example, and to see if there are any holes, if the door is sealed properly. We check electronic devices, cooling systems, and each part of the container according to a checklist. And after the inspection, we put a label that the container is passed inspection and is ready for loading and for transport. And it's been done upon the request of the exporters, and then we set a temperature and other parameters, humidity, temperature of the air, airflow within the container, etc., etc. So these are all technical details. This is how the display looks like, where you can see all functions within this container with some lamps, what functions, what may go wrong. This is a set point, how to set a required temperature required by the exporter. For example, if it is -20, you can see it on the left display. The right display shows the current temperature within the container, temperature of the goods. And the cool lamp means that the compressor is on and pumping in cooling liquid. Heat defrost functions are also available, as you can see, because the ice, the evaporator can be covered by ice, so we have to defrost the evaporator. And range lamp shows the temperature when the compressor turns off, when all parameters are met. Then supply and return temperatures mean temperature provided by compressor to the current conditions, and return temperature is temperature of humidity, showing the current temperature within the container.
Ovako, na ova dva displeja
These two displays show lamps. The left display shows the code of any possible alarm, and the right one shows the number. There is a precise table thanks to which we know exactly where the problem appeared. If you have two types of alarms, active and inactive alarm, which will give you information on the display. Inactive alarm means that the container doesn't experience any problems. The goods cannot be damaged due to the wrong temperature, but each sensor, there is a primary and reserve sensors, backup sensors that monitor carefully the temperature. If primary sensor goes wrong or is damaged, then the secondary will replace it and informs you that the primary sensor is out of function. So there is no reason to worry that the temperature will change. It doesn't mean that you have to fix it immediately, because there is a backup sensor which will do the job till the end. But if you see the alarm lamp, it means that you have to fix container immediately, that the problem is more serious.
koje značava setovanje kontejnera, na plavim dugmadima se setuje temperatura.
These blue buttons set the temperatures, plus or minus temperature. Return supply button means that you have to check the current compressor temperature and the temperature of the goods. You can change it from Fahrenheit or Celsius degrees. Only maintenance team can change these buttons and their function. This is another type of reefers, docking containers, but the same systems of the display. Not to bother you with too many details, it's very similar to the previous type. This is very important slide and an image that we talked about, how the air flows through the container and how it cools the goods.
U ovom dijelu ventilatori guraju vazduh kroz isparivač.
Vent fans pushes the air under the load, under the goods. It reaches the back door because we have to provide a space minimum of 5 to 7 centimeters from the back door of the goods. The roof shows the border for the goods, how far it should be away from the door, and on the side there must be space for air. Sometimes in practice it's difficult to achieve. The goods can be stacked according to certain requirements, respecting these spaces, but due to better conditions and way of sailings, sometimes it's impossible to achieved because the goods move within the container, and there are these red lines showing the height of the goods in the container, for example. And here on this slide you can see that it's forbidden to use elevator within or inside the container, especially if it is a diesel-fueled driven elevator. According to the rules, a container must be cooled before the loading. It's not required. It's not preferable in the minus temperature, because if you don't have a cold tunnel from the container or the storage where you take goods from, then you may have a problem with condensation.
Izlazi do kapljičasteg
And then this water from condensation can damage the pallets or boxes. This is how we should and we should not load the container. If you don't have enough goods to fill the whole container, its capacity, because if you don't have enough goods, there is a solution. There are some air boxes placed between the loads and the sides of the container, like in this picture, because you stop the air circulation inside the container. So the cold air in that case would flow in front of the goods, and the back part will not be cooled at all. That's why the container must be filled up to its full capacities, or you should use air boxes in case you don't have enough goods for one container. These are the temperatures we should respect for the goods. You can see what and how which goods is shipped and how. It is much easier to maintain the minus temperatures than the plus temperatures, although it may sound a bit unusual because for plus temperatures you need fans and compressors being in on position constantly, but for minus temperatures they are used for a couple of hours and then they can be turned off. Therefore, the plus temperatures are very demanding because for fresh fruits and vegetables, you also have to intake the fresh air into the container, and ambient temperature will be present in the container. That's why you need the compressor to be on all the time during the transportation. We said how we should chill the cargoes, how to set ventilations for faster maturing or slower maturing of fruits and vegetables within the container. If you intake more fresh airs in the container, then maturing of fruits or vegetables will be faster inside the container. Therefore, the producer or the export company gives you parameters for this opener, how to set ventilation, how to set the door of the ventilation, and how much outside air should be let in, which is very important for plus temperatures. For the minus temperatures, you may have big icy block which you will have to defreeze before the loading of the cargo. These are the types of these ventilations, fans, how they look like, you see. This is the humidification process, as we mentioned. We don't need to respect the humidity requirements because our containers immediately, especially those for fruits and vegetables, require dehumidification. We don't need additional humid requirements. And therefore, we have to respect the parameters of the producers given to us or expert companies, how to set this dehumidification devices. And what is also important when we are commissioned, or when the expert company order a container that meets their parameters, during the loading of the cargo, they have to check whether they received the container according to their characteristics, if there is any damage, dehumidification parameters, etc., etc. Everything is included in our label with dates when and what should be done. If you see the container which was not set up according to your parameters, you have the right to return that container if it doesn't meet your characteristics. Otherwise, we all will have problems because that container cannot meet your needs. Do you have any question?
Recite.
Ne baš, evo, sada da. Videla sam na...
I saw on one slide heat and defrost. What is the difference between these two functions, these two options? There is no difference. Okay, when during the chilling systems, the evaporator will be frozen. Sensors identify this ice. They turn on the heater to defrost the ice. And when this defreezing is over, then you will see a defrost lamp and immediately ventilations on evaporators in order to push this water out, because if the water stays in container, it will get frozen again. So you will check these lamps on the display. When you have a lamp blinking on heat or defrost, it means that you have a difference in temperature. It won't be 20 centigrades, for example, which means that minus 20, it may be even plus 4 or 5, but it is not a real temperature. When you notice that, then the difference in the temperature, immediately check these lamps. Which lamp is on? If it is heat or defrost, it means that it is the current temperature in the container, which has nothing to do with your cargo temperature. When these two lamps goes off, then you will see the lamp showing cool, which shows you the real time temperature inside the container. You always check all these lamps. For example, if we don't reach -20 temperatures, then you push the button supply to check whether the compressor, if you suspect the temperature is not correct, whether the compressor provides cooling as required, because it usually shows the higher degrees than it had been set in full. It may show even -24. Evaporator pushes the air through the container. Once it reaches the required or set temperature, you will see the lamp cool, which means that the compressor is okay. I assume that this container has its own energy supplies. What is the longest transportation with this container? They don't have their own energy supply. It is recharged when on the ground, but on the boat they are plugged in. They also have generators, or which are attached in a trailer of a truck, so that's how they are charged with electricity. They don't have their own electricity sources. Good afternoon. If you can tell me, according to your experience, what are the most often mistakes during the preparation of cargo for transport, like a feedback from foreign clients? It's just the way how we stack the cargo or goods in the container. It could be mistake. If I can get that slide. Let's go back. It is very important during the loading of the container, apart from these pockets where there is no enough cargo, that the cargo on the upper area should not be stacked as a cascades, in form of cascades, because it will prevent air flowing. Then you will have turbulences, not a circle. If you have that kind of problem, it's better to reduce the length of cargo. It should be even lower and longer in order to avoid these cascades, because then the mistake will be, or error will show that the cargo is not cooled satisfactorily or not enough, and then container needs more time to cool the goods to the required temperature if the loading is not properly done, or during the transportation of goods or perishable goods, temperature control perishable goods with different temperature regimes. For that kind of goods, you have a kind of division of containers. We divide it according to the goods and temperature requirements. At least during our 15 or 16 years of my experience, we haven't had such requirements. There are some partitions within the containers for plus or minus temperature control. So you use partitions. Thank you very much.
Good day. My name is Sanita Abujis from the traffic faculty. I do not have questions. I would like to thank you on behalf of my chair. It was an honor for us to hear such a fabulous presentation. Namely, we have the module which is called the handling the transportation, so we deal with containers as well. So I would like to express a great gratitude because such useful information means a lot to our students, and we are looking forward to some future workshops and meetings, and we would gladly be part of such events in the future. Thank you very much, and thank you for your presence. Of course, we are at your disposal whenever it's necessary. I'm usually better when the container is in front of me, but we can, in collaboration with the MSC office, to organize a workshop in some hall, so you can learn in more details about the process of operation, loading, unloading, etc. It looks completely different when on the spot. Last year, we took our students to Constanza, and we were at the containers terminal, and we have to admit that really had a great impression on them. And so when we learn about various types of containers, everything that needs to be included is included, but it's completely different when they reach the container and when they see the discharging mechanics, and it would mean a lot to them, and the impression would be completely different when they see all these things in real time. Yeah, for sure. We already had a couple of workshops with the students, and when everything is presented live, then there are more questions by the students, and it's much easier to explain things to them compared to the slides. It is not my first time to present these slides, but it's always easier to do that when we physically see the containers. So I apologize if I made certain mistakes. I hope that it will be corrected in the future. I would take a little bit of your time. We will continue with this session. We had such workshops with some other faculties, and I hope that in 2025 we will continue with that, and hopefully in the future. Now on my side, I will take a couple of minutes from you. I would like to clarify and more specify what are the fruit treatments that we offer at the MSC global level. It is so-called cold treatment, which is a chemical-free way to eliminate fruit flies and other insects during the transportation, so that the goods are supplied to the customers, and the process includes the reduction of the temperature and then the maintenance of that reduced temperature, and depending on the types of fruit and according to regulations of the countries of origin and countries of destination. The next thing that MSC offers at the global level is so-called controlled atmosphere. It is a highly advanced process to regulate the atmosphere composition to reduce the ripening during the trip. This is something that would help you to preserve the parameters of the fruit at the destination, and the transportation would be made possible for the longer destinations. It can be a good parameter compared to the air transportation. So such goods are usually transported by air, and the prices could be reduced with this type of transportation. Our experts are at your disposal almost 24 hours. We try to remove all the issues and problems, and we are there for all the comments. So all the foodstuff and goods given to us will be transported with a good intention. So Tijana would continue. Good day from my side as well. So apart from the core business of MSC, that's containers transportation of goods, the company works on the improvement of services for a long period of time, and we would like to share with you some of the additional services that MSC added to its basic and core services in order to provide a full support to clients. One of the services is the marine cargo insurance and the all-risk insurance. So MSC works with its partners. Those are Italian companies, Italian brokers, through which we ensure good quality insurance of goods in transportation. It's a traditional way of insurance of the goods. You can get information and price based on the parameters of your goods from our team. What we can confirm, certainly the tariffs and the premium of insurances that we offer are aligned with the market, and they are quite competitive. MSC is devoted to its digital solutions. So within the digital solutions, we would like to stress the EBL and MSC extended protection. So I'm going to say something about the MSC extended protection. It is a type of insurance of goods from transportation risks, and that is the type of insurance that MSC created for the needs of its users. Sorin Toft, our executive director, said, and we agree with that, is that sustainability and digitalization are not separate processes, but they are processes that drive the changes. So EBL and MSC extended protection support this. MSC extended protection offers a one-stop shop solution. It is very simple to use. When you access our platform and book, you can select the option of extended protection and get the offer for insurance of your goods tailored by the parameters of your goods. MSC extended protection can be rated by the dry goods as well as reefer goods. If something is not clear to you, you can address us and contact us by mail or by phone, and we from the sales department, we can clarify everything that is necessary for you. The EBL is something that we've been working for a longer period of time, and we in Serbia are really doing our best on this, and I would like to use this opportunity to thank, because I missed that at the previous presentations, and one of the first EBLs in Serbia was created by Jabuka exporting company, so they are the pioneers of EBLs in Serbia. Serbia. So this application is quite useful, particularly during the COVID pandemic period, when the shippers and those who received this goods at the destination, it was easier for them to transfer the ownership through this EBL, and EBL proved and showed that the supply chains do not have to be interrupted due to certain market disruptions, and then we overcame the restrictions of courier shipment. So by accessing these platforms, you can transfer the ownership from the shipper to the consignee. I would like to stress some of the key advantages of the EBL. So that's the speed. The documentation is sent very easy by one click, and in 8 to 14 minutes you will have the full transportation of the ownership from the shipper to consignee. So the full transfer of that. So given that all supply chains tend to be much easier, we in MSC try to make life easier for our clients. The very important thing is that you can have the EBL access at any time, at any place. Just you access the platform. It doesn't require some special conditions to use the platform. The introduction of EBL brings considerable savings. They can be showed by the examples given by the agency dealing with the savings of carbonization. So if we use the famous yellow papers, the typical one, move to EBL use, so we would save annually $4 billion, which means that is the best description of how much beneficial this EBL brings. So the savings that EBL made possible reflect in the posting costs, in processing of the documentation, then the labor force you need to perform that work. EBL provides also the security and safety. It is based on so-called blockchain, and it's not possible to abuse this EBLs, so no one can falsify or lose them, etc. So you're fully safe with this. So what is very important, and according to all the trends, and that is decarbonization on the reduction of the CO2 emissions. So this is one of the options that can contribute to this, and it reduces the carbon footprint in the container transport, and I believe that it is the objective of all of us in this industry, including the other industries, and that is to save the oceans and our planet. Thank you very much for your attention. On behalf of MSC, I hope that you received some useful information from us. For all further information, we are here at our stand, so you can reach us and address us. Thank you very much.
Hvala vam na sjajnom izlaganju I hvala.
Thank you for a great presentation.